Hey guys, TOGS here, and the Apple special event has been one like a half an hour ago, and of course I'm going to give you a rundown of everything that has been talked about in the Apple special event. So here is everything you may have missed at the Apple Keynote 2017. So the first thing they started the show with was the Apple Watch Series 3. And what has been different with the Apple Watch Series 3 in comparison to the other generations is that this generation features cellular data. And what's important about this is that important carriers such as AT&T and Verizon now have data plans for the iPhone and the Apple Watch to work synchronously. The Apple Watch uses the same phone number as your original iPhone does, so there won't be any difficulties with different phone numbers. And what makes it special is that you can stream music and make phone calls with the Apple Watch Series 3 right now. This has not been possible with the Apple Watch Series 2 and lower, so that's different to see this year. Although I would have liked it if there were a little bit more color options, such as jet black for the Apple Watch Series 3, but continuing the trend of the jet black, it's been dying right now. I mean, the rest of the Apple line has been basically going downwards in a downward spiral with the jet black, and it's sad to see that the Apple Watch is also going this way. Besides the fact that it has cellular data, it also features the W2 chip. That's a new wireless chip inside the Apple Watch right now. It features a dual-core processor, which is it's faster. We have to test it out in person, of course, to see if it makes any real-world difference in comparison to the Series 2. The way they are going to connect the Apple Watch 3 with cellular data is through an eSIM that's built into the Apple Watch itself, so no irritating ways of connecting it with a dedicated SIM card or something like nano SIM. Gladly, they have not changed the size of the Apple Watch, so the thickness of the device is still about the same as Apple Watch Series 2. It's a little bit thicker because the screen right now has to have extra sensors because the screen is used as the antenna sensor right now. What's especially different with the Apple Watch Series 3 is that it features Qi wireless charging, and that is a big deal because then you can use any Qi wireless charging pad to charge the Apple Watch. More about Qi charging later. Along with the fact that they also included some new band colors and some new color options. Nothing too special. I mean, the Apple Watch sure has a lot of these color options. They had a lot of Nike Plus stuff at the Apple event as well, so that was cool to see, but nothing really that's that amazing about the Apple Watch Series 3. It starts at $399 and it will be available in September 22nd for available purchase. Next up at number 2, we have the Apple TV, or should I say the Apple TV 4K. So the Apple TV 4K will have HDR available in the form of HDR10 or Dolby Vision. They also announced that they would include some new screensavers which are optimized for 4K, which is basically the bare essential when you're putting out a 4K Apple TV. It comes with the latest version of tvOS. HomeKit will be available on the Apple TV, and live sports will be available. So when you're watching your favorite football team, you can now watch on the Apple TV as well. They will support live sport channels to view on the Apple TV, and that is just great. The Apple TV will also be available on September 22nd, so look out for that one. And then next up at number 3, there is the iPhone mania, or should I say manias, because there are, of course, all the leaks, all the rumors were going to be either confirmed or denied today. So let's give you a little rundown on what they discussed. First off, the iPhone 8. Just basically a new iPhone, same aesthetics, home button still, Touch ID is there. Camera system is a little bit improved. It features the A11 Bionic chip. No jet black color option available, sadly, but it is a glass construction, so the front and the back are pure glass. A new and improved camera system. Basically, they have portrait lighting modes now, so whenever you take a portrait photo, you can have advanced lighting modes on the portrait mode available as well. I'm not sure if this is coming to the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, but I hope it is because it's a software function based feature, and I think it is possible on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus as well, but we'll see it in the iOS 11 update later this year. The camera has gotten a little upgrade, especially with the 8 Plus. It now features an f1.8 wide angle lens on the iPhone 8 Plus, and the iPhone 8 Plus also features a telephoto lens with an aperture of f2.8. So that's some pretty normal standard lenses. They both feature OIS at this point. That's a big plus. They also included some new video function capabilities with the 4K at 60 FPS recording, and of course 1080p with 240 FPS slow motion, which is pretty cool. So far we have only been able to do 720p at 240 FPS, so to see a little increase of the recording resolution is a big plus in my opinion. Aside from that, it also features LTE Advanced, the W1 chip of course, Bluetooth 5.0, etc. All the basic stuff that you also have featured in most of the 2017 phones. Especially nice to see it here. Now I told you I was going to go a little bit more in depth about the Qi wireless charging, because Apple has decided to step onto the Qi wireless charging thing, and right now they have fully adapted it in every iPhone they are going to launch, including the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. They both will feature Qi wireless charging, and they will have the broad compatibility with any of the Qi wireless chargers you have available. So for example, you have the normal Qi wireless chargers that you use with the S7 or Nexus 6 for example. You can also work these with the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. Of course, the 8 will be available just at the Apple Watch at September 22nd and will have a starting price of $699. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the iPhone 10. So it features a glass front and back, which enables Qi wireless charging just like the iPhone 8. It comes in a 64 and 256 gigabyte version, no 128 gigabytes and no jet black. They're going to stick with space gray and silver. And also the bronze copper thing we saw in leaks, not happening to the iPhone 10. So the important part of this is the screen, which has a 5.8 inch screen inside the same, almost the same body as the iPhone 7, a little bit taller, a little bit wider. It has a screen resolution of 2036 by 1125, which is an 18:9 aspect ratio if I remember correctly. It is an OLED panel, so blacks will be really dark, so there won't be any pixels turned on. It also features HDR on the screen, so the screen will be optimized for HDR content. That's really nice to see. 3D touch is still there, but there's a lack of a home button, which I will get to later. And of course they enable tap to wake finally on an iPhone. I mean, this is a feature that has been going on forever in the Android community, and it's nice to see that it's also made its way into the iPhone 10 right now. Remember that I told you there was no home button on the device? Well, instead they have this new thing called Face ID, which are a combination of biometric sensors on the front of the screen. A little cutout on the screen is made there, and what it does is it sends IR blasts to your face to indicate certain points of your face, and then makes a 3D map of it, and it compares that to already previous map made from when you were setting up Face ID. So Face ID is supposed to be faster and supposed to be more accurate than Touch ID, but it's a little bit janky. I mean, the test unit that they had on stage didn't work that well, so they had to pull out a recovery phone to make up for the way they couldn't demo it. They announced that Face ID will also work with Apple Pay, which is really cool. Now you can just press the power button, look at the screen, and then pay with Apple Pay. It's just that simple, so it should be really fast and faster than how Apple Pay is implemented right now with Touch ID. They also demoed little features like animojis, which are coming to iMessage, which basically make a 3D map of your face and then map that to one of the emojis or animojis as they call them right now, and you can move them around and send them text messages with the animojis all moving around and saying things. So you can have a chicken, and they demoed the unicorn on stage. Really just basic stuff that happens in the software itself. But the lack of a home button means also lack of Touch ID, as I said before. So the new way of unlocking your phone is by glancing at your phone and then swiping up from the phone. This is a different way, and I'm not sure if it's faster than Touch ID, but we'll have to test it out and see if it works better. So without a functional home button, how are you going to get to your favorite apps and multitasking, of course? Well, there's a new little bar down below, and it features the gesture system. So swipe up to go into multitasking, so swipe and hold to go into multitasking, and whenever you're into an app, you can just go into the app and then swipe up and you go to your home screen. Also important is that they now feature a dual 12 megapixel sensor on the back. It's aligned vertical for some reason. I'm not sure why they did that, but maybe it's for the dual OIS system that they have right now. f1.8 on the wide sensor, f2.4 on the telephoto sensor. Pretty common stuff. Of course, just as the iPhone 8, it features Qi wireless charging, and it also features fast charge, which I haven't seen in any of the other Apple products. So it's interesting to see that they are finally including fast charge to enable us to charge the device a little bit faster. And that also helps because they said in the keynote that the iPhone 10 will have 2 hours more battery than the iPhone 7. But of course, we'll have to test it out and wait until we get further specifications on the iPhone 10 as well. The iPhone 10 will start at $999. and will be available on November 3rd. So basically that's everything that has been talked about in the Apple Keynote 2017. Lots of different stuff talked about, 3 new iPhones coming, Apple TV, Apple Watch of course, and they announced a new way of charging, a new charging pad. It's called AirPower, and it can charge up to 3 devices at the same time. So they demoed it with an iPhone, Apple Watch and AirPods with a Qi wireless charging dock in it. So that may be useful in the future. We'll have to test that out and then see how it works. But I think the notifications will come onto the iPhone screen whenever you're placing one of these devices. That will be really cool to see how they are going to implement it and how they are going to use it and how functional it is in real life. And that is basically everything that has been talked about at the Apple Keynote. So I'm really curious to know what you guys think of the new iPhones. If you're going to upgrade or are you going to stick with your current iPhones? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're there, press a like if this video helped you and subscribe to stay up with more content like this. Thanks for watching. This is TOGS and I'll catch you guys later.